Boopy boopy bop boopy beep boop bop.
Make my way back.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
You kids,
Such a lovely place.
such a lovely place. Take me home, country road, to the place I belong, West Virginia.
All of the angels.
Shall be all night long.
Okay.
Am I the only one with an ounce of restraint?
Welcome to Bracket, the only show where we take a bunch of shit and face it off against another bunch of shit to see what the best shit really is. I'm your host, Colin Jennings, and joining me today is John Abbott.
After like 4 months, I shaved my beard off today, everyone.
Oh.
Don't forget about Jesse Knowles.
Hi, I'm Jesse, and is it hot in here, or is it just me?
It might be you.
We're in different places, so.
Yeah, it might be.
It's Skype. We're not in the room with you.
Emmy-nominated creator of The Mummy 2, Greg L. Mercer.
Hi, I'm Greg
Mummy
Mercer,
returns.
and I got this great pitch for The Mummy 3. You ready for this? 2 mummies.
We already got the Mummy 3. It was the Scorpion King.
Yeah.
No, that's
No,
the
Mummy 3
Scorpion.
was the.
This is an entire different spinoff. This
Yeah,
is
No,
Mummy
no,
you got-
2.
you guys got your Mummy lore all wrong. You got the Mummy Returns, you got the spin-off Scorpion King,
Yeah,
and then you
no.
got the Mummy.
This one's going to be called The
Tomb of
Mummy
the-
3.
Tomb of the what is it? Tomb of the Dragon.
We have a guest with us tonight, everyone.
Mummy 5, the Squeakquels.
Yeah, there you go.
And our special guest tonight is Dan McKenney of A Brief Escape.
Hi, my name's Dan McKenney, and I produce a monthly podcast that has put out 4 episodes in the last year, so I know all about tonight's topic.
But it's now bi-weekly.
It's now,
Which means it comes
bi-weekly,
out twice a week.
which means it comes out once every 2 weeks. I've had this conversation multiple times. Greg, do not get me started. And it comes out exclusively
Is it
on
called-
bracketpodcast.com.
Is it
Thank
called
you.
bi-weekly because you use a bicycle to produce the episode,
Oh,
or
boy.
Jesse, you are the... Jesse,
Waka
you're the
waka.
crazy... You're like the lonely uncle of this entire
Yeah,
podcast.
16 best
Okay.
dad jokes.
Hey Dan, pull my finger.
We have a 16 brackets, don't we, Colin?
So, all right, guys. So this week we're going to be doing excuses. So the best excuses that you can come up to with just getting out of anything. So right off in round 1 in Group A, we have doctor's appointment versus Obama. In Group B, we have daylight savings time versus roommate. In Group C, we have controller doesn't work right versus just joking. In Group D, we have misinformation versus it's not you, it's me. In Group E, we have car trouble versus fell asleep. In Group F, we have jury duty versus didn't get your message. In Group G, we have sick versus my dog ate it. And Group H, dead grandma versus I was drunk. So, right off in Group A, doctor's appointment versus Obama. Who cares to take a stab at it?
No doctor's appointment ever ruined the economy.
Maybe if Obama would get to a doctor, they could prove he wasn't born here.
He's trying to give us free health care, man. Chill out.
He said I could keep my doctor's appointment, but that was a lie, Obamacare Benghazi.
I was going to ask for some examples of how you could use Obama as an excuse, but I think you guys
You're
just nailed
welcome.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Doctor's appointment, I feel like if I get called on the spot, like to show some proof for a doctor's appointment, oh yeah, you got a doctor's appointment, you want to take this day off, well, bring back a note. Like, I can't fake that.
Yeah, that is the thing about doctor's appointment, is that it is the excuse that is a provable one. So it's a big risk if you're gonna try and
I've got
Right,
all
you
the
can-
proof you need right here in Obama, ruining the economy. Just look around you. It's
Yeah.
all around you.
Just look around. Just
How
look
are
at
you
what's in
doing,
the room.
America?
Like-
Doctor's appointments, you can print up fake doctor's appointment notes.
yeah, and I think for the purposes of this show, like doctor's appointment could mean more than just, you could say like, oh, like, I
Your dentist.
I had to see my therapist or whatever. Like,
I
Yeah,
got
I
this
think that
weird rash.
all in-
I popped my arm out of my socket.
sure.
Yeah,
excuses.
okay, great.
That's
Okay.
that's the last excuse I use to get out of work.
An excuse to get off one episode of Bracket is
Right.
just kind of shitty.
That's
An excuse to talk to Janelle Santa Cruz. Yeah. Oh, I popped my
Exactly.
arm over my socket. We need a separate episode, guys.
Hey
We need
Janelle, I'm a
backup.
big fan. Did I tell you that my arm popped out of my socket?
You know,
That was my impersonation of me.
I didn't want to vote for Obama in this bracket or as our president.
Oh.
But I think I'm gonna go Obama over doctor's appointment because I don't think you can pull off doctor's appointment easily.
It takes some finagling.
But Obama is our national scapegoat.
Yeah, Obama you can use in any situation. Like, I tripped over my shoe today. Thanks, Obama.
I'm also an Obama vote.
Oh my god.
I voted Obama in 2008 and 2012. I'm going to vote for him again now.
You guys, okay, all right.
While I think it's hilarious and I want to vote Obama, I'm going to go doctor's appointment because I don't really ever get out of work because of it that often. So
I'll swing a vote towards doctor's appointment as well. It's the boring vote, but doctor's appointment didn't ruin the economy.
You're
doctor's
just trying
appointment
to
didn't give me a
stall
job.
Obama in the bracket and in Congress.
all right, so Obama knocks out doctor's appointment in the first round, 3-2. Up next, we have daylight savings time versus roommate.
So this is a tough one up front because I proposed daylight savings time for this bracket. I think that is the perfect excuse because you get to use it twice a year, which is just infrequent enough that like no one can really blame you for it fucking you up. And it fucks up everybody. Everyone's pissed when it happens. And like everyone gets something messed up on daylight savings time. So no one's going to be like, I don't buy it. No.
Unless you're doing it to the same people, and then like your friends always recognize, oh, hey, Greg really keeps fucking up on daylight savings time.
Well, that's my trick is that I change identities every year.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. So
Well,
I
you
get
get
like
to do
two
it
of
twice,
them.
though. You
Yeah.
at least get to do it twice a year.
Right,
Like,
which is more
on
than
multiple occasions.
That's more than I have grandmothers to
It's
die.
coming up, so soon, it's coming up. Greg's
I-
going to change to Greg M. Mercer, and then in the spring it's Greg N. Mercer, and
Exactly.
then just keep going until he runs out.
I disagree, Greg. I think at least from my experience in school, like yes, in theory, like I think daylight savings time is a good excuse, but the mentality that I've seen at school here when like excuses are running high and heavy is
It's
everyone-
prime excuse time.
everyone expects you to have your shit together for daylight savings time. Since it is something that affects everybody, like it is perceived as like something you have to deal with because everybody else has to deal with it too. So like get over it, and like that doesn't fly as an excuse in a lot of people's minds, I think.
And your phones and stuff do that automatically.
yeah, everything.
Well, that's the
auto-updates
thing
now.
is that like the last couple of years, the iPhone, iOS at least, has had problems with daylight savings time.
Oh, I don't think I've
never
had a
an
problem.
issue. Yeah.
You look up news articles.
You
It's
know,
a big
Greg,
thing.
I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Greg always has a problem with daylight savings time.
Yeah, it's a defining trait about me.
I'm a hard and fast roommate. I think like
Hey, yes.
I love
Put that on Craigslist.
I love that roommate could be a one-word excuse. Like, if someone can say, like, man, where were you? And you don't even have to say a full sentence. You say, my roommate. And, like, you are immediately knee-deep in, like, okay, let's hear what this guy's going to say about his fucking roommate. Like,
Man, you look like trash. You just go,
yeah, my roommate.
And they
I've
and they just give a knowing shrug, like, what can you do?
I have a lot of really loud friends, including myself, and so it's hard to bring people over, those loud friends over when you have roommates, because then we get loud and drunk. And so roommate is a hard. It's a good excuse if you don't want those people hanging out, or if you just want to be loud. So I don't know. Daylight savings time though seems right.
So we
that's
have
the
my
thing, is
dog.
that
Aiden.
roommate necessitates that you have a roommate. Like daylight savings.
Well,
time
you can
happens
lie
to
about
everybody.
having a roommate.
Yeah, but I mean,
Don has a cat. That's a roommate.
I have a cat that's my roommate, and I can just say like, "Oh man, my roommate kept me up." Like
I have to feed my roommate. He keeps shitting in a box.
We have my dog Aiden on here, which is a classic excuse. I think roommate functions very similar to like you can say like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't get those expense reports in because my roommate like spilt his fucking OJ all over it."
Okay, wait. The only roommate I've ever had in my life is my parents. So I have never had a thing to blame on a roommate before. What do you blame roommates for?
Everything.
What can you?
Hey, dude, why didn't you come out last night? Oh, my roommate needed.
Why do you smell
had,
like
a
weed so
breakdown.
much?
For you, for instance, Dan, you would say, "Oh, my roommate grounded me."
Sure.
Where did you get all this crystal meth? Oh, my roommate.
So this is interchangeable.
Officer.
Yeah, parents, brothers, roommates, all the same.
Okay.
I'm the daylight
or if
savings
you have,
time.
or if you live with no one. If someone has never been to where you live, but you owe a responsibility to them, you can just say, "Oh yeah, my roommate left their skates on the stairs, and
My roommate has a dance recital. I'm not going to be able to come to your...
My roommate, the ghost, left skates on the stairs to play another trick on me.
I like to think of Home Alone, the movie, as just all roommates, because it makes it funnier. So,
What are votes? I need votes.
I'm roommate.
Right.
Well, if John's a hard and fast roommate, I'm going to be a slow and sensual roommate.
Ooh.
Together, they make quite a pair.
I do like roommate. I'm going daylight savings time.
It's down to you, Dan.
Roommate is the most full house answer on this list, so I'm going to say roommate.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Dan.
Not a
All
problem.
right.
I have an ace up my sleeve for roommate that I haven't revealed yet that I think I can win Cullen with. But
All right, good luck. Roommate knocks out daylight savings time 3-2. We have controller doesn't work right versus just joking.
I don't know who's telling us these excuses, but this guy's such a fucking dick.
yeah, both
just
these excuses
joking.
are from someone you never want to be around.
Yeah, yeah.
The first one is your friend who can't lose, and the second is some asshole who's like, "Man, I fucking hate you." I'm just joking.
None of you are going to sit here and tell me that you've never used the controller doesn't work
No,
right.
here's the thing that pisses me off about controller doesn't work right. Every time I say that, I'm being 100% honest. Something's fucked up with that controller. I'm serious.
Yeah, that's the
Jesse,
thing, is
don't
there's
hide.
no winning with it.
Coming.
Because I've used a lot of terrible controllers, let me tell you. There's something wrong. Sometimes there's something wrong with that controller. So, I try to be honest with it. So when people are like, "Oh, no, you're just making it," it's like, no. So that's what pisses me off.
That's the thing, is even if the controller does work well, no one's buying, or even if it is fundamentally broken, if you're holding two halves of a PS1 controller, that no one's going to be like, "Yeah, okay, sure, controller's broken, whatever, buddy."
Where'd you plug it in?
So Jesse, what you're saying about whenever you say that, you mean it. I mean, I think almost all of these excuses, not all of them, but most of these excuses, excuses don't have to be lies.
A lot of them can be valid.
Yeah, someone can ask you where were you yesterday, and you could say "Oh, sorry, I had a doctor's appointment" or whatever, and that could totally be the truth. It still counts as an excuse. Even
That's
if you're
true.
telling the truth, it is still you giving an excuse as to why you couldn't fulfill some kind of responsibility.
That's
But
true.
that's the thing, is that controller doesn't work right isn't even believable, and neither is just joking. Both of these are just shitty. I hate them. I'm gonna go just joking because Gamergate.
Have you guys, has anybody on the show ever, when they're playing a local game, even when they were a kid, started to lose and then reset or turned off the console?
No.
Just a yes or no.
No.
Yes or no.
Wait, you mean
I had
in
that
anger,
happen, or
you're-
have I done?
In anger, oh, I'm about to lose to my
No,
friend. so
no
I'm gonna
way.
turn it
And
off.
it's
Yeah.
because
God, no.
I grew up with a younger cousin who did do that, and I was so infuriated by it that influenced me to never be that shitty to somebody else.
I did it to myself 1,000
Get-
times over, playing Maximum Carnage, because you got to have a certain amount of lives to go to the
Sure.
next level, man. But yeah, never to anybody else. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't know that
we're
I've
all-
ever rage quit in multiplayer.
We're all friends.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know that I've had it happen to me necessarily. Not in local multiplayer, anyway.
I had a kid at a sleepover punch me in the face one time during Street Fighter 2 on Sega, and the kid just straight
Did he
up was
shout
like,
Hadouken?
he was this little redneck kid and just started punching me in the face, and I was like, what the hell? And
He's like, "It's Obama."
and then his mom came in there and grabbed him. It was his party and grounded
He was
him.
like,
And so we all got to have pizza and cake and play Sega all night while he sat in his room. So fuck that kid.
He
Hey
was like,
Joseph,
punch.
if you're out there, you're still an asshole.
and come on the show.
Yeah, come on the show, man.
Colin, you have the craziest stories you share on here. You got a room
This
full
guy.
of spiders.
Look, this guy doesn't even know my stories. I can make a podcast off of my stories. So
That's true.
controller
Let's-
doesn't work right for me.
Okay, yeah, let's do voting.
I'm a controller doesn't work right because just joking is so aggressive an
Yeah.
excuse. It's just so like, just joking. Hey man, I was just joking. Can't you take a joke? It's your fault because you can't take a joke.
Yeah.
See, that's why I am voting for just joking. I think we need to have a just like fucking assy excuse in here.
One that makes you instantly a shitty guy.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm voting
I'm
just
just
joking
that
because
way.
I hate gamers.
Damn it! I'm good. I want to pull out it and just go to just joking now. Because John makes a good point about having this asshole in there.
Jess,
We
what's
already
your
vote.
vote?
I'm gonna vote just joking.
All right. Colin, do you want to switch?
At this point, it's already won, so it's fine.
Okay. There you go.
No first round sweeps on this episode.
Not allowed.
All right. Just joking knocks out controller doesn't work right. All right. We have misinformation versus it's not you, it's me.
So misinformation being like, oh, I thought workday started at 9 p.m. I'm sorry.
Or like if someone tells you like, oh yeah, someone gives you like their address and like, hey,
Yeah.
meet me here, and you're like, oh sorry, I must have written down the address wrong or whatever. Like,
Yeah, I've done that. I am a very, very, very nervous person, so I will be like driving to a party where I know like even a lot of people. I'll drive and get like halfway there and then be like, oh, sorry, I think I'm in the wrong place. And now it's just so late. And then I go home and eat a whole pizza by myself and cry.
There's a Subway commercial that's kind of pissing me off currently. Well, it was like last month where the guy's like, hey, are you coming to my barbecue? And the dudes are like,
yeah,
yeah,
I
we'll
remember
come to your
this.
barbecue. And it's a fucking Subway barbecue commercial. And they like gives them an address. And like, number one, you should probably know that street has a Subway on it, right? I don't know. And it just really pisses me off. And I blame misinformation for that.
Does
that they
he
should
live in the subway?
I don't know. Like the dude just has
Is
all
it a
the-
commercial for like the New York subway system? And he's like a homeless guy? And he's
He's
having a
probably-
barbecue down there and he's
Well,
like trying to build a community? Because that sounds kind of sweet, actually.
I've
Join us.
experienced the it's not you, it's me under several occasions, and I think that one is the one I'm gonna go with here.
it's the mother load of relationship excuses.
Oh, but it's such a shitty thing to say.
It is. It's a shitty
it
thing to
is-
hear, too.
I read it
Right.
and I feel terrible.
Oh
about
yeah,
it being
definitely.
here.
I think it's also an excuse that gets used a lot in like early, maybe say like high school relationships or something. Like I think people you don't know how to have a relationship yet, and so you just kind of imitate what you see on like TV and stuff. And
Right.
so when you hear it's not you, it's me, and you think about it as like a young teenager, you're like, oh yeah, what a smart thing to say, because I'm the problem, not them.
That's genius.
That's brilliant.
This is going to make everybody feel great.
What Einstein thought of that one?
90210 did.
Luke
Yeah,
Perry
I have to
himself.
come in as it's not you, it's me. That's a rough one.
Yeah.
But I think it's more interesting to me than misinformation.
I'm gonna use misinformation just because I have used that excuse quite a bit, and I would feel disingenuous. I feel disingenuous when I use it, but I feel extra disingenuous if I didn't vote for it.
I'm gonna go misinformation as well because I feel terrible about it's not you, it's me. I've never heard it used myself. I've never had anybody say it to me. Sorry, losers. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Ouch.
misinformation.
Hey.
Ooh, whew.
Here's the thing. I've never been on the sending or receiving end of it's not you, it's me. Whereas misinformation, I misinterpret information all the time. I'm very familiar with that. So I'm going to go ahead and vote misinformation.
This one's split votes this entire episode.
I don't agree with this, but misinformation knocks out it's not you, it's me. 3-2. Car trouble versus fell asleep. I don't own a car.
Well, that'll do.
So,
Well, that's a pretty good excuse as well that I think would fall under this. Like,
but
Yeah.
you also have a scooter,
I do have a scooter.
and there are times when you could say like, "Oh, sorry, traffic was really bad" or something.
Or
you know?
it's pouring down rain. I'm not driving my fucking scooter.
Or your
Uh,
scooter broke.
Now,
No.
falling asleep is something I can identify with heavily.
I wonder why.
I mean, yeah, it's something that happens to me a lot, and I've missed like a final exam because I fell asleep. But it's not a good excuse. It's
People
not.
will call me and text. I will get all kinds of messages on my phone, and they all happen while I'm asleep. And a lot of times, what happens is like in the middle of the night, like I'll hear like a vibrate or something, and I'll look, and so I'll see all the messages, so it like clears them. So when I wake up later in the day, like I have no knowledge that I got any of those messages, and people think I just ignore them and don't like them.
Right, but that falls under didn't get your message.
We've had some people fall asleep and not show up for the episode before.
Yeah, that's happened.
Ooh, tell me that one.
What? What? Who? I don't know who you're talking. What are you talking about?
Huh?
Oh, is that the buffalo? Was that when you chased by buffalo?
Yeah, you got to run
Quick
over
one,
by-
this guy.
Well, not for me. I was busy with work in the early days when.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what you call
Back
it.
30
way
episodes.
to fucking go, Jesse.
It was good though.
I mean, the point that I want to make is that if you say like, "Oh, I fell asleep. I'm so sorry," like that doesn't make a person feel that's not a reassuring excuse.
It's also not an excuse. Like that's you taking the blame for. Oh yeah, no, this is a thing I did. That's not an excuse.
Well, what if
I think it is a good
didn't
excuse.
fall asleep?
Yeah,
I think it's a
John,
good
I think that's
excuse.
kind of a problem that you think that's a good excuse.
Because, well, okay. Wait a
This is
minute.
actually an intervention.
Let me say something here. I don't think excuses are not good things, but I think falling asleep can be an excusable thing because clearly that means like something has gone wrong in your life and you are sleeping at a time when people do not expect you to be sleeping.
Okay, here's what I think the criteria for a good excuse is. It's something that explains the situation and makes both the person excusing themselves and the person to whom they're excusing feel better about why the mishap occurred. Falling asleep doesn't do that. I think it makes everybody feel bad.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really excuse the situation.
The thing is, with any of these, they don't have to be real. You
Yeah.
can just bullshit your way through this. So
Sure,
if I
but
just wanted to sit there and play my DS all night and not bother with anybody, I can just be like, I fell asleep.
Well, make
But
sure you turn off the wireless on it or
But-
people are going to see you're online.
that's true. You cut the light out and you knock the... Yeah. I know how it works, man.
You board up your windows. You make sure no lights
You
escape.
get all the provisions you need for 3 days and you don't leave the room. Get a
You
piss
fill out
bucket.
an obituary, send it to the papers.
Friends stand outside. I just street passed with Cullen. I just street passed.
He's been dead for 3 days. No, I'm gonna lock this in for me in general. I'm gonna be a car trouble vote.
Me too.
Car trouble, like you're blaming the car. Like the car is not reliable. It's not you. It's the car. Whereas fell asleep, you're the one who's sleep like a normal fucking human being. For
Oh,
once,
Some of us can.
John.
Well, I mean, the
That's
thing
a problem.
is, like, it's expected that everyone, like, kind of, like, if you get sick, like, yeah, everybody gets sick. Everybody gets car trouble. If you fall asleep, that's sort of on you. And I understand, like, that everyone has fucking crazy situations and stuff, but falling asleep is something that it's like, you know what? I fucked up.
To put this in the context of actual experience, I've had both of these events happen to me at my last job. It was okay when I had car trouble, and I even had a coworker come and help me out with it. When I fell asleep, bad things happen. So
Yeah, it
I'm a
doesn't
car
go
trouble
well.
vote.
John, I get it though.
Are you a fell asleep vote, John?
I'll still keep my vote for that, honestly. I guess in my head, my strategy of like self-blame is better than me just being like, no, sorry, I couldn't show up or something. Like,
See, I get what John's trying to say, and
yeah,
and,
I understand that, but it doesn't work for me.
I
that's
mean,
fine. No, you guys, Jesse brought up a very good point. The fact that you could call into work and say like, "Hey, my car is broken down," but if someone found out that you just like overslept, like that's not good. You almost sold me, but I'm gonna keep my vote at fell asleep.
Dan?
And I'm going to be a car trouble vote. For the record, John, in a friendship sort of thing, like knowing the other person and how hectic their life is, then yeah, the fall asleep thing is totally valid.
that's-
But for when you think about like work and school and just like getting out of trouble with an authority figure in your life, then fall asleep doesn't really work. But we love you for who you are, is what I'm trying to say.
You don't need to give us excuses, John.
What if I just fell asleep in the middle of this recording?
That's narcolepsy.
That's what the listeners are doing.
That's a canoe.
Whoa! Hey now. All right, so car trouble knocked out, fell asleep. All right, we have jury duty versus didn't get your message.
Guys, I've had jury duty like all year long, and really, I would have gotten out maybe 5 or 6 more episodes of A Brief Escape if I just didn't keep someone back there.
If you just weren't so litigious.
If I just didn't have such an appreciation for the law and order of America.
I've
And
never
Law and
ever
Order.
been to jury duty ever.
I have never had to do jury duty, and I'm one of those people that I tell myself that I like think I would enjoy having jury duty,
Yeah.
You'd be jazzed up to convict a young black man to a life of...
Whoa!
Yeah, no, that's you. That's what jury duty is.
I'm pretty sure it's an episode of Reba.
Or I could stand up for what's right and make everyone sit there and not get their lunch break while I say, no, he's
Good.
not guilty.
Thank you.
I've been called on jury duty 3 times. Twice I wore like a nice button-up polo shirt, and they saw my tattoos and said no fucking way. And that's exactly what happened. The third time, however, I wore a long sleeve shirt and got picked for jury duty. And it was over like running a stop sign case, and it was the dumbest thing I ever experienced.
Yeah,
but I got paid like a couple bucks,
I think
and it was really stupid.
So wait, if I ever do, because I haven't yet, but if I ever do get summoned for jury duty, can I just like put a removable tattoo like from a Band-Aid box on my face and get out of it?
They racial
flaming
profile the
eyeball out of like a coin machine and just put it right on your forehead before
Right
you
on
walk
my-
into the building.
They set you up in a screening before you get called for jury duty, and then you go to a screening process. So it's not like, hey, you got jury duty and you go and sit in one of those 12 juror box seats.
Well,
and
right,
you're
I
just
know
like,
that. I
right,
watched Reba.
and yeah, but basically if you just like go in there looking like really rough, you're good. You don't have to ever come back.
That should be easy for Dan. Dan's a real hard ass.
That's true. But didn't get your message. John brought that up this last time with like falling asleep and then just checking your messages like later. I put my phone on do not disturb at night.
Yeah.
So like if you're one of the 10 people that are under my favorites list, like if you're not one of those, then sorry. Like,
yeah, the nice thing is that like 2 phones in a row, like after 9 months of having a phone, you can very easily slip in like, something's wrong. I don't know what's up. Like I'm not getting calls. Like you can very easily slip into didn't get your message.
And I also have a super bad habit of if somebody like say if someone texts me, I will look at it when I first get it. And
Yeah.
I'll be, I'll be doing something. I'll say like, oh, I'll get back to them as soon as I'm done doing this. And then I totally forget. And it'll be like a day later and I realize, oh shit, I didn't get back to them. And at that point I tell myself like, oh man, it's going to be like, it's weird if I text them back now, like a whole day later.
Well,
so I
and
just
that-
don't. And I feel
Dan
bad. If anyone's
texted
out
me-
there listening,
Dan
I'm sorry if I've
texted
done
me
that.
before the episode today, and he's like, "I have a question about the show," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm not going to reply to this and just pretend like I haven't looked at it yet."
No, I knew. Don't
I
worry.
figured.
I know. Listen, Greg has experienced this. Jesse has experienced this. Jesse didn't set up the voicemail on his phone ever, which makes my calls, not go through all the way.
Well, here's
But
the thing. Speaking as someone who no longer has a phone,
you just blew your cover, man. You just blew your cover.
Yeah.
The thing, I call multiple people on this show from time to time, and I leave messages.
Yeah,
And
you
that
sure do.
bury other messages quite deep in their phone.
Dan will leave 3-minute long voicemails of him just singing. It's-
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm really getting familiar with the discography of Pokemon 2BA Master.
Right.
So I mean, I can understand the didn't get your message because it was buried. It was lost deep in the phone because you're a very busy person who gets very important phone calls from time to time
that aren't 3 minutes of Celine Dion.
that aren't.
I think I actually might come in as a jury duty vote, and it's because if someone told me they like couldn't get back to me or whatever because of jury duty, I think I would probably accept that at face value.
Also, yeah,
Or at
the
the very
thing is,
least,
like if you skip jury duty, you get fucked.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
There's
that's
no
the
getting
thing.
around
You,
it.
yeah, you
Also-
don't like. So if you tell your boss like, "Hey, I got jury duty," and he's like, "Sorry, you're not going." That's like, okay, that's on you then. That's on the boss at that point. Like even if
And
it's an
the-
excuse.
But you need to give them something for that, right?
The opportunity also
That's-
of jury duty
yeah,
is like
I guess.
if someone tells you they couldn't because of jury duty, like maybe you get a story out of it. Maybe you're like, oh man, what was that like? And then you get to hear about the crazy case they were a part
Or
of.
they have to make up a story right on the spot.
Yeah. Either way, it's
Yeah, you're
good.
getting a story. Man, I'm gonna come in at a jury duty as well because I've had
Oh.
jury.
okay. Well, I'm a didn't get your message vote.
I feel like I'm approaching this bracket all wrong because I keep thinking about them and like I'm making up everything. Like I just don't want to go to a thing.
Yeah.
I think
Didn't
that's
get your
totally
messages. Yeah, didn't get your messages it for me because that's so like you could say that every other day of the week to the same people. They're gonna be like, man, you weird.
Like, gotta get a new phone, right?
Well, didn't get your message knocks out jury duty 3-2. All right, so we have sick versus my dog ate it. These are 2 really good ones. These are two classic, like
sick
high
dog
school
ate it.
feel.
I'm coming in hard and fast as sick, like, because there are times where I've had instances where I was actually sick and I had to miss like a solid day of work because I was, honest to God, just my body was roiling in abject terror and doing horrifying things. And I've had days where I'm like, you know what? Going in sounds like the absolute worst thing. And I was like, I'm really not feeling well today. I'm gonna skip this class.
I've never like been in a situation where I had to like call in. I've never had to like pretend to be sick to get out of something, but I have just not shown up for stuff and then been like, I was sick. But I mean, which a lot of times translates to I didn't feel well, which sometimes just means mentally. But I think my dog ate it is good.
I don't know.
It's a classic. It's like the oldest excuse in the book. I mean, I don't know who first came up with it, but it's genius.
I've had dogs. I've never had them eat like shit that I wish they would eat. They always eat like my fucking like box of chocolate that I keep in my closet or something.
Like 50 years from now, didn't get your message is going to be the new "my dog ate it."
Yeah,
like back in its day, my dog ate it. Probably got a lot of people out of trouble.
I mean,
didn't get your
here's the
message
thing.
Isn't that fun though?
When I hear, "Oh, my dog ate it," I'm thinking, did you slather it in barbecue sauce? How did you get your dog to eat it?
What if someone made a sculpture out of barbecue sauce and Reese's Pieces cups and left it on the kitchen table?
That was what they were supposed to turn in that day.
And now he's dead.
Disgusting Culinary Confections 302.
I had a dog chew up like a flash drive one time, but like,
oh man,
that's about as close as I got to. He just chewed it up and didn't eat it. But
I've had my dog has chewed up my retainer, which if you've ever had a retainer and a dog, that is it happens.
Did you
like
put it
once
back in, right? Though.
Absolutely.
It popped right back in.
Dogs' mouths are cleaner than humans' mouths.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think.
It's a perfect fit.
I'm trying to think the last time I called in sick, actually called in sick, like to bullshit an employer, and it's been
I can't remember the last time I called in sick and I wasn't actually sick. Like I think at the place I'm working at now, like I've called in twice. Once because of my shoulder, which I don't know if I've mentioned before, and then once because I was just like, honest to God, I was vomiting and I had to call my brother to bring me toilet paper and Gatorade, and if he didn't, I would be dead right now. It's been a very, very, very long time since like I've lied and called in sick.
I don't want to sound too ridiculous, but I don't think I've ever called in sick and not meant it. I rarely called in sick to begin with. I think I've even gone to work sick a couple of times, which I don't do anymore. And I've never had a dog eat anything, so this is kind of a weird...
I think y'all are thinking. I think you're forgetting something. I think if you call anyone in the world at any time could say like, "Oh, I'm sick," and the person you're giving the excuse to is gonna be like, "Well, all right. I hope they're really sick, but also like I hope they get better."
Right.
But like if you pull "my dog ate it," people are like you have to be telling the truth at this point. If this in this day and age, if you're saying that your dog ate it, how could you? Who would dare make that up?
I know this is gonna sound completely fake, but I swear to God, my dog ate.
You're saying it's like a power gambit, where like you're daring them to call you out on it and betting that they won't.
And my family, my parents, we've got this little white terrier at their house, and that dog is a nervous wreck. And if that dog gets scared, like if there's thunderstorms or whatever, that dog will find paper and shred it with claws and teeth till like it's completely unrecoverable.
Put stuff in a shredder.
The other thing is like my dog ate it is just it's so limited. It can only be if you need to turn in a document. Whereas like sick is just the most versatile excuse.
I don't know. It can't just be a document. It could be other things. It could be the science project, like we talked about before. John, are you a dog ate it vote?
I'm a dog ate my homework or whatever.
I am 100% with you on that one.
Wow.
There we go.
I'm a sick vote. I'm going to be a sick vote because I could still do that today. Like if I had a job, I'd be like, hey, I don't feel like doing this. Fuck this.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like if my dog ate it only counts if you have to bring something in.
Can I change anyone's mind if I say my dog ate it? Could also be like I had to take my dog to the vet because it ate a like butt plug, and
That's
I'm sorry. I
sick.
said,
Then your dog is
Damn
sick.
it!
If you're taking
My dog ate the wait. Hold
if
on,
you're
did he
taking
eat
your
the butt
dog to
plug
the
or not?
hospital,
Okay, but
I'm
here's the
sorry I said that.
thing. I
I need
really
to know.
want your apt choice of what the dog ate, because how is it going to get out? Right? Because, I mean, it basically plugs up that end.
right? Jesse, where's your vote? Before we talk any more about plugging dogs' butts with butt plugs, Jesse.
I think I kind of like John's perspective on it, and I kind of want to just like stare straight faced at my boss for showing up late to work and saying my dog ate my homework. I think that's a really fun idea.
My butt.
My dog ate my alarm clock.
What if your
I'm gonna
dog
vote
eats
my
your
dog
car
ate it.
keys? You know.
Yes. Good job,
My dog
Jesse.
ate my
Jesse
car.
did it.
You voted for my dog ate it?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so my dog ate it. Knocks out sick 3-2. All
I
right,
can't
we have
believe that.
dead grandma versus I was drunk.
I was drunk isn't an excuse. Dead grandma's like the classic excuse.
I've had people ask for obituaries, though.
Oh.
Yeah,
I've
a
had professors be like,
What a cynical thing to do.
I
Right?
had professors. I had to fly. This is when I was in New York. I had to fly back to Virginia for my grandma's funeral, and I emailed a professor about it. And this was a small class. You know, this is like 15 people. This was not a big lecture where they didn't know who I was or anything. And they asked me like, okay, well, when you get back, can you bring us like the little
finger?
Did you bring us her scarf?
Yeah.
No, the
Bring us
little
the little
like,
toe of your grandmother.
this is my grandmother you people are talking about.
Can you take a selfie with your grandma?
The little pamphlet that they give to you when you're like attending the
Oh my
thing.
God.
There's a name for it. I can't remember.
And this was
Yeah.
The funeral program?
this
Yes.
is when it was a book for it was a class for making comics, and so when I got back in class the next week and walked up to the teacher and handed them the little thing that had like my grandma's face on it, it was like in memory and you know stuff like that. He took it and then he like had a very strange reaction and handed it back to me and was like, "Oh, geez, I'm so sorry. I thought you were handing me a mini comic you had made." When
Damn it!
This is morbid. I don't know.
What a sick professor you had. What a crazy dude.
Are we getting a dead grandma suite?
I
Yes,
definitely did grow vote.
I think Dead Grandma's but I have been very drunk, but I have never used it as an excuse other than like I shit myself, but I shit myself on the regular. Like it's not.
Yeah, that's
Being
not something
drunk-
you have to be drunk to do.
Right. No, I can do that at any moment.
I've
given
been
it-
around you when it's nearly happened. And you were stone cold sober. It was like PAX.
Yeah, I didn't even have a beer at that night. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it looks like Dead Grandma knocks out I Was Drunk with this first round sweep. The only sweep.
Shit, I forgot.
Yeah.
No first round sweeps. Damn it.
Sorry.
So when we're into round 2 now, we have Obami versus Roommate, Just Joking versus Misinformation, Car Trouble versus Didn't Get Your Message, and My Dog Ate It versus Dead Grandma. Obami versus Roommate.
okay, I bet
what if
whoever
Obama
roomed with
were your
Obama used the roommate excuse all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, he's probably a terrible roommate.
Joe Biden is probably Obama's roommate because the White House is a dorm room. And you know Joe Biden is like the weed roommate.
Obama shows up to the League of Nations and is
The
like,
League of Nations. John, it's called the UN.
The League of Nations. It's next to the and
To be fair, it is 1941 and John is Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
And it's made of ice in Antarctica where they all meet.
I'm so sorry.
It rises from swampy water.
To be fair, this is a pretty like social studies book goof right now. John, you were making a point. Obama's at the League of Nations.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't
I'm
matter.
sorry. I feel bad. No, I feel bad for making fun.
Oh boy.
This podcast's so dumb, y'all. I'm gonna vote Obama because my roommate never took my job.
I'm a roommate vote.
I'm also going to come in at the roommate vote.
I'm a roommate vote. Obama's just not. It's not like this is a bad joke answer. Like if it was a good joke, I would vote it all the way to the finals. But no, let's not.
It's a fun joke to make, at least.
There's one joke, and it's economy, and Jesse already used that in the first round.
Well, there's Benghazi. There's
Gamergate.
yeah, Gamergate. Obama making feminists presidents of the internet.
Obama's just sitting in the White House in the Oval Office, just using MS Paint to draw red lines between game developers and journalists.
He's
This
like,
is gonna
what's
ping on
really
his
going to
radar."
piss off the YouTubers?
This is going to ping on his radar, and he's going to listen to this episode, and he's going to be so excited.
We're going to get a lot of phone calls today.
Now,
Get
Michelle,
the amazing atheist on the phone.
Michelle,
Ooh,
let me
boy.
tell you something. Game journalism is broken.
I think you're doing Clinton. Jesse, where's your vote?
I'm gonna be a roommate vote.
All right, fine.
All right.
Sorry.
So it looks like roommate knocks out Obama 4-1. Up next, just joking versus misinformation.
Just joking, so shitty.
I am a just joking vote because it's such an asshole thing.
I'm just kidding. Calm
I just-
down.
I have the perfect face in my head of
Yeah.
like the smarmy, grinning asshole that
Is it
hits
me?
you on the shoulder and says, "Just kidding, man. I'm just
That's
fucking
me.
with you."
That's me.
Chill out.
I don't know what I want to vote for, to be honest.
The dirty toilet water is what I would like to dunk just joking into, so maybe I'll vote for that.
Jesse, where are you?
Well, just joking can be abbreviated in text form as my initials, so I'm gonna vote misinformation.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hadn't even considered the
Yeah.
angle of JK.
JK!
JK
Yeah.
changes everything for me. I'm just joking vote.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah. No,
No.
JK. Yeah, no, that's the first thing I thought of.
Uh-oh.
That's the worst.
Uh-oh.
I
Don't
think
do
it's
this.
down to Cullen.
Hey, by the way, I'm sweeping back over to misinformation.
Oh, well,
Oh,
misinformation
bullshit.
wins.
Oh man.
That's bullshit, man. Just joking. The thing is, Greg, I was the first person to vote, so technically
Oh.
his vote is locked. 'Cause-
No.
Ah, okay, fine.
Do
Go
we
to
want what is the final vote? Tell me. I'm a misinformation vote.
Misinformation vote.
JK.
Just joking.
Jesse?
Oh, don't.
Jesse already voted for
I
misinformation.
did. I voted for
Okay.
misinformation.
And that's
Y'all
3-2.
y'all fucked this whole thing up, cheating bastards.
Oh,
Misinformation.
yeah, the one time on the show people cheat.
Misinformation knocks out just joking, Dan. 3-2. Car trouble versus didn't get your message.
Didn't
Card-
get your message is more believable.
Car trouble.
Is it?
I
Not
think so.
me.
I disagree. I hear car trouble a lot less often. When I hear about it, it's like
That's the thing is you
an
can't.
easy thing to prove.
That's the thing is if car trouble, if you're playing it all the time, like it wears
Which
thin.
means you have a shitty
you
car.
shouldn't be playing. Yeah, you shouldn't be playing these excuses all the time. If you're playing them all the time,
I
then
mean,
Well,
come on.
But it depends, because car trouble you could play to different people than you would didn't get your message. Didn't get your message you use on friends. Car trouble you can use on one professor every semester. That's like 8 different people over the course of a year that you can just get out every single day. It's like,
I
oh
think
man,
didn't
car
get your
trouble.
message is the weaker one because someone can tell you that, and this is why I'm trying to apologize publicly when I do it because I have missed messages. But when people tell you they didn't get your message, I think there's an aspect of like anxiety in that if the person's gonna like if they're a nervous person or whatever, like they might think like, oh, did he really not get my message or is he lying to me? Like, you know, I'm a car trouble vote.
yeah.
I think car trouble also creates a like situation where there's like sympathy between people.
I've driven my car scooter through a lot of rain and snow and stuff like that. I don't wish that on anybody anymore. And I'm gonna be a car trouble vote easy.
Did you name your car Scooter?
My scooter is named Scoot
Damn.
Scoot.
My car's name is Charmander. It's red. Also, I'm a car trouble vote. I just wanted to share.
Now, is
Also,
it
you-
Charmander or Carmander? Because that's a real missed opportunity.
Well, no, I understand the portmanteau. Don't worry. I've thought about it, but I thought Charmander sounded less shitty than Carmander. Like, I could say Charmander to somebody and actually back it up. I can't say Carmander and just be like, get it? Get it?
Talking to a guy that has a Magikarp tattoo. Yes, you can.
If you named it Charizard, then I think
You have a
Yes!
Magikarp tattoo? Hold up. You have
he
a
does. Yes, he has
That's
Stunfisk
Stunfisk
as well.
tattoo.
He's
Yeah.
got a Ghastly Haunter Gengar tattoo.
You're just a mess of bad decisions in a person.
Whoa, whoa!
Or the best
How
ones,
dare
Dan.
you apologize to me early in the show and then say that to Cullen?
Well, John, you don't have...
Dan, you got one opportunity. Say just joking.
Just joking.
No, he doesn't have to.
Oh, it's cool, man. Okay, I didn't know you were joking. It's cool.
I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just joking.
Moving on.
Car trouble knocks out didn't get your message 4-1. Up next, my dog ate it versus dead grandma.
My dog ate my grandma.
That's what this whole bracket has been leading to.
My grandma ate my dead dog.
My dead grandma ate my dog. I'm a dead grandma vote.
My grandma ate my dog, now he's dead.
I'm also
Now
a
they're
dead grandma.
My dog died because my grandma ate him.
Look, I'm so sorry to people that actually had their grandma die or something
Or
recently.
eat their dog.
Or eat their dog. So hey, whatever, you know?
I love my dog ate it, but I also love John's story of his professor just being like, bring back a swag bag from your grandma's funeral.
What if my dog
Give me those
ate it
mints
is
they
not,
give out.
Like, what if it's slang? Like, my dog was skateboarding and busted his head open. My dog really
no.
ate it, man.
What if
That's the saddest thing!
Oh,
Didn't you see that picture of like the warning sign of the dog skateboarding and smoking and drinking?
yeah.
And I'm telling you, if that dog was on a bad path,
That dog
ate
it, man. Yeah. I'm a dead grandma.
I'm gonna get back. What's in the swag bag at a funeral? Like,
Some complimentary biscuits.
You got the pamphlet. You
A lot of
got,
care.
get a copy of Rift, right?
You
Get
get
a little
those
penny coffin keychain.
those Livestrong bands, except it has like the date and your grandma's name and like a quote that she would always say, like pumpkin bread, because she
an
was always
iTunes
making
gift
pumpkin
card.
bread.
A lock of your dead relative's hair.
Right.
I don't know. This is getting a little rough, guys.
$5 at Starbucks.
Yeah, I'm definitely dead grandma vote.
Have a latte. I'm a dead grandmother.
I'm
A pack of
dead
magic
grandma vote.
cards.
I'm a dead grandma vote. What is
Coolest
everybody
funeral
else?
I've ever
Sorry.
been to.
God, this is the worst fucking podcast. I'm so sorry.
Everybody gets a starter deck of Magic the Gathering cards.
It's what she would have wanted.
It's all the same deck.
Grandma just loved playing counter spells.
I swear to Christ, there's gonna be swag bags at my funeral when I'm dead.
Better, man. I'm gonna make sure everyone gets like a League of Legends bracelet or something.
Grandma played solo mid every time.
There's gonna be fucking stickers for an indie game you've never heard of. I'm dead grandma. John, what are you?
I'm dead grandma.
Cullen.
Dead grandma.
Jesse.
Dead grandma.
Dan. Jesse, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Oh, God.
All right.
Both of you. Is that a sweep?
That's sweet.
All
It's a
right.
That's
sweet.
real sad how that dog ate it, y'all.
Yeah, I can't believe you guys let that dog do that kick.
Should have been wearing his helmet, number one. But yeah, dead grandma sweeps out. My dog ate it 5-0. All right, we're into the semifinals with roommate versus misinformation, car trouble versus dead grandma. So right away, roommate versus misinformation.
I'm coming in swinging still under roommate.
Yeah, I'll go with you on this one.
I'm also a roommate vote.
Oh,
there you go.
well, this is really boring then. I mean, I guess I'm gonna be a misinformation vote. I don't understand how you could blame a roommate for everything.
Have a roommate.
Blame a roommate
What, Dan?
for anything.
I'm for misinformation too, because everyone makes mistakes. Everyone can. Some of us are
Roommates
Right.
exclusively make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's all
But
they're
it forces
capable
me to do
of.
things, yeah.
But if you're talking crap about your roommate and then your friend talks to your room, oh man, Colin was talking crap about you, man. He
You
was
know
talking
what? You're,
smack.
Look,
they're
look,
not
if
going
you're
to
gonna
talk to
start
your
poking
roommate.
those
They're
guys,
not gonna hang out with your
Every
roommate.
excuse has its pitfalls, Dan.
They are excuses.
not misinformation. It's the perfect excuse.
All right.
Well, it didn't win, so.
Well, you're
Yeah. Sorry.
So let him
Roommate
work
gets-
it out.
Roommate knocks out misinformation 3-2. All right. Car trouble versus dead grandma.
That's how she died.
so my grandma took my car and drove and wrecked, and now my car is wrecked and my grandma's dead.
Stole your car.
Stole your car.
She's
Yes.
got a bad habit.
My grandma, she wore a wristband of Livestrong that just said "fast and loose."
Crashed my
Was it yellow with
Fiat.
flames on it? Was it yellow and red with flames on it?
Live fast,
She-
die young. Bad girls do it well.
She flipped her PT Cruiser.
Wait a minute.
I'm a dead grandma vote.
Yeah.
PT Cruisers are old people cars, is the joke.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's a car for old people. Just letting you know. If you have a PT Cruiser, you must be over the age of 65.
There's a
I got some words for you.
Yeah. Werther's, weird house smells, and PT Cruisers.
And
Also
Fresco.
the swag bags, just Werther's. It's just a big bag of Werther's,
Yeah,
just 5
it's-
pounds.
Everybody
Werther's.
gets a Werther's.
I'm dead grandma.
Dead grandma.
Jesse?
Dead grandma.
Colin?
Dead grandma.
Wow. Man, this is gonna... If this is going the way that it looks, this is gonna be a weird Tournament of Champions on Trade.
Dead grandma sweeps car trouble out. 5-0. All right, we're into the bronze match. We got misinformation versus car trouble.
Car drove right off the cliff into that toilet.
I am a car.
No.
I'm giving it to misinformation.
Yep, me too.
I'm a car trouble vote. Car trouble is a great excuse. I mean, misinformation you can use with friends, but you can't get out of jail free with misinformation with.
What if
you know,
you were misinformed about your car?
Well, then that's somebody.
Like, what
else.
if you're? What
That's
if
somebody
your
else's
excuse
excuse.
is-
They told me I had brake pads.
Yeah, what if,
Oh,
what if
hang
your
on, hang on.
excuse is,
Everyone-
I took it to my uncle and he said like, just rotate the tires, but my exhaust.
It turns
pipe-
out I didn't have tires.
Yeah.
my grandma said she
Let's-
had her license.
Look, listen, I know we're all having fun. Let's dial it back a little bit and realize something about car trouble is that you can't use it all the time, but you can use it on literally anyone and have a shot of getting away with it.
Not
Whereas
an Amish
misinformation-
person. If you said car trouble to an Amish person, they'd say, "It didn't stop me."
You're
That's
right, John. You're right.
You know who this excuse does not work well for is Usain Bolt.
He could run as fast as a car. Or a cheetah. You couldn't tell a cheetah this.
Right, yeah. A cheetah could probably not, like, oh, I'm sorry, I used the wrong gas. It
A
was
cheetah
diesel, I
ate
thought."
my homework. The cheetah ate my assignment.
Jesse's right, and not only that, but it's not just you have a shot at getting away with it. You will get away with it. People believe car trouble.
That's a
Like,
good
Because
point.
misinformation, you can't say I was misinformed about the speed limit or something and just get away with it.
And not only that, but you could say like, oh, and my bumper fell off and it cost me $120, and boom, you just got their sympathy, not their skepticism.
Hmm.
I've lied
Yeah.
to a lot of people.
See, I don't try and trick people with my
Dan has
excuses.
written this book.
I just try and make people like think like, ah, man, he has so little of his life together. I might as well just give up on this. poor
John,
sap."
you got, like, job
That's-
interview stuff, man. Don't
Man,
do that.
you're hurting me here. I have a scooter. I don't have a car, man. Taking jabs.
I'm a misinformation vote. John, your misinformation vote. Cullen.
Yep.
Car.
Yes,
I'm
car.
car as well.
Ah,
All right. So car trouble is in third place. Misinformation is dirty toilet water. All right. We're into the finals now. We have roommate versus dead grandma.
My
3
roommate
words.
killed my grandma.
I got 4 words.
My grandma.
Weekend at
The
Bernie's 3.
perfect excuse. My roommate killed my grandma. That is the excuse to end all excuses.
This
the
is going to be the
first
first
tie.
ever tie, yeah.
I'm gonna come in. Dead grandma.
Cullen, can I tell you something I've been saving this whole time?
Yeah, sway me, dog.
And the reason why roommate
Oh, I think
is
I know where this is going.
a great excuse. In the first episode of Clone High, Principal Scudworth tells the Board of Shadowy Figures that he doesn't have his essay for them because of his roommate.
That's very, very true, and it's a good one. It's a really good one, but I can't. I can't get over dead.
The
grandma.
other thing is, at some point, we're going to be roommates. So
That's
that
true.
excuse
and I-
Use
can't
each
really be
other
used.
to get out of all of the bad stuff.
Okay,
I
I think more that, like, us 3 are going to use Cullen, and Cullen will use, like, I don't know, John. John's probably the second closest party animal.
Dead grandma, guys.
Here's my argument. You're not wrong. Dead grandma is an amazing excuse. Dead grandma is one that there's a reason why, like, professors in college will say, like, part of their spiel at the beginning will be like, well, you know, a grandma can only die so many times, because they hear that excuse a lot, because it's a pretty sound excuse. But that's the thing. You could only use dead grandma so many times. Roommate is unlimited. Roommate is dead grandma on steroids.
But roommate's unlimited. But the like, weigh out what you get, weigh out the payoff. You know, like lying to your friends for a little thing. Get a full day off with your professors. That's a big deal.
You get
I'd
the
watch
sympathy
that.
involved. Like,
I
you also
watched
have
the hell out of a movie called Roommates Unlimited.
Yeah,
I'll just
Roommates
say that.
Unlimited would be an awesome, like, Pier 1 type place.
man, you're swaying me even harder to dead grandma. I just think that, like, given the facts that you have 2 grandmas and 2 grandpas, That's 4 dead people that you can use a semester.
And if your parents got divorced, they remarried, you have a third set now. You have the step grandparents.
Right, and they've been there your whole life. You've had 3 different pairs of grandparents. You're great, man. You got this.
Let's not even think that it could be a dead family member. Oh, my uncle passed away real early. He was very lonely.
Plus, you could even, if you really want to push it, you use up all those dead relatives. You can start saying things like, "Oh man, I was having this wild dream, and my dead grandma came to me, and she said, look, you just gotta skip your homework this time."
That's not a valid. We gotta strike that from the record.
Here's the thing:
That's not an argument.
if you use all 4 grandparents in one person, you got to be like, my family's part of a Sons of Anarchy style biker gang. Like,
or you could just skip all that work and say like, "Oh, my roommate had this biker gang over, and like I had to fucking clean up the apartment all day after those assholes."
Well,
like, roommate is the simpler, it's the more elegant one. There's so many uses for roommate.
Man,
I'm kind of leaning toward roommate.
Nah, come on.
I'm a dead grandma vote, and I can't, like, I'm only missing 1 grandparent, and I have great grandparents, like, still, like, so I can use those forever.
So you're saying you got them in the bank.
John's a roommate vote. Cullen, you're a dead grandma vote. Dan, you're a dead grandma vote. Jesse?
Jesse, when you cast this vote, think about the tournament, because a roommate in the tournament is going to be knocked out round 1. Dead grandma could go all...
Neither of these are going to go far in the tournament of champions. Don't worry about that, Jesse.
As speaking, Cullen says he's only got 1 dead grandparent. All of my grandparents are gone, so I can't really... Yeah. So I can't really use that one. Plus, my conscience would be really bad.
Come on, Jesse.
That's the thing. You could feel bad about manipulating people about a dead person, but a roommate, who cares if they think badly about a roommate they're never going to meet?
I guess.
The times we had, Jesse. Remember, we were planning our funerals together. We had a lot of fun.
I remember that time.
Remember that roommate left that barbecue sauce and there were ants everywhere?
Oh my god.
Oh, the worst.
Jesse,
I'm a roommate vote.
Yeah!
So it's 2-2. I haven't voted yet.
Oh, come on, Greg.
Yeah, but we're going roommate. Don't try
I kind of am.
Yeah.
Greg,
Don't.
but wait. No. Greg,
Yeah.
you and I both know that dead grandma is the better choice. I mean, roommate, sure, you can get away with a whole bunch of little stuff, but dead grandma, a lot of people, they're not going to ask for proof. And the people who do, you can easily Photoshop a brochure that John got. John probably did the same exact thing in Photoshop.
I did not.
So, I mean, come on. It's clearly dead grandma. You know it. I know it. We all know it. The listeners know it. They're going to be real mad if you do vote out dead grandma.
Well, sorry. I voted roommate and I already hit end tournament, so...
Yep. Roommate knocks out dead grandma 3-2. So it's the first place of the excuses is roommate. Second place is dead grandma. Third place is car trouble, and dirty toilet water is misinformation.
We've all had a bad episode this season, Dan. This is yours.
All right, we're going to take a look at poll results from last week's episode. We had the Disney villains episode. So we got a lot of votes for this one, and
There's a lot of response, yeah.
And I guess that's because of, the target audience in that. But the number 1 vote from you guys was Hades.
Wow.
Hades is a great villain.
Yeah, I like Hades.
Hades is a great villain, not number 1 though.
Frollo and Maleficent got second place tied. Then Jafar, which was correct. With Scar, tied with Scar, mind you.
All right.
And Mother Gothel was also tied there. We had some votes for Dr. Felicia. Was it Felicia?
Facilier.
Yeah, I just think Shadow Man. We got a couple votes for Yzma. Yeah, I mean, and a Cruella de Vil vote. So, yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
Guys, Dr. Facilier definitely should have gone a little bit further.
Right?
Fantastic character. Fantastic villain.
Hey,
not
voted.
a lot there compared to other Disney villains. Not a lot going on behind the scenes with him.
All right. Thanks for coming on the show tonight, Dan. Is there anything we can reach you at?
Well, people, if you haven't checked out the show is called The Brief Escape, and it's now a part of this bracket family of podcasts with glorified dress up and brackets. So you can find it at bracketpodcast.com/briefescape. It's now bi-weekly, so episodes are going to come out once every other week, and it's a fantastic. I have a lot of fun putting it together. You'll hear stories from this week's is Swaps, who is a Mass Effect fanfic writer who has spent most of her life writing. There's the story of Jami, who makes Space Boyfriend the music with a chiptune and Game Boys, and Iker Maidagan, and how his whole Rare fan site collapsed after 9 years going strong. So you're going to hear all those stories on there. It's a whole different podcast, but I really hope you would check it out if you haven't yet.
The brief part is true now.
Yeah, now it's under 20 minutes.
And Jesse's here to mess it up. So yeah. Thank you so much, guys. This is great.
We're very, very glad to have you.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, I can.
No sarcasm.
Just kidding. Just joking.
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right, guys. You can find us on the website, bracketpodcast.com, and as always on Twitter at twitter.com/bracketcast, on Facebook at facebook.com/bracketcast, and Tumblr page is going to be bracketpodcast.tumblr.com. If you'd like, you can subscribe to us on anything, including iTunes, Stitcher, whatever podcast client you actually use. Just search for Bracket. And we'll see you guys next week. I guess we can eat some
I'm not going to be able to make it.
We're all
my dog ate my
Chick-fil-A every day.
My grandma just died. So.
Yeah, my grandma just had Chick-fil-A.
My grandma ate some Chick-fil-A and it didn't go well.
I didn't get your message.
Doing a professional radio show on the internet.